Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Gotta fix something standing up today. Welcome back to our Aspire project. We're doing Breakpoint AI as we have been doing. Today we're going to be getting a little further on our issue, so let me pop over to that. So continue on the Porio profile, hopefully we'll finish up that today. We can start talking about what the ML pipeline is going to look like, how we get the data, how we ingest it, how we analyze it, and then go from there. But who knows if we get bogged down in the details. I'm going to be trying to do, just get through this. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started on that. So we'll see where we're at previously. So we got a lot of things around the endpoints. We got some services, and we have now a DTO service. So I think we left the project in a non-compilable state, which is fine. If I pop over to my error list, name player, yeah. So it looks like we didn't switch over to the DTOs. So this is gonna be a create player DTO now, and probably need to add a reference to. There you go. Let's just go throughout. And this one's also this. And with an int ID. Just need to pass it in. Results okay. Okay, looks good. And the player service needs to take in an iPlayer repository. Did we get to that point yet? So that's might be where we start, is on the player repository. So we just don't have an iPlayer repository yet. Okay. Let's throw in a new one. And actually, let's just delete that. Just refactor, because I think we have all the things we need. Yep. Okay, let's look at that. So that's not really what we want, because we want the base repository. So let's undo this. So just get rid of you. So I want to go down 2 layers here. Extract interface, and so the problem is because really we're not actually doing anything with that, so whatever. And forgive my typing, I'm standing. Okay. And hold on, I'm just gonna take my sweatshirt off. We'll switch it out to a no view for a sec. And actually, just while we're talking about beginning stuff, some super exciting news dropped. We have the speakers for the .NET Conf 2025. I'm going to be attending. We're going to be looking at hosting a .NET Conf that is Intelitech. So that's super exciting. Keep that on the DL. But let's look at the speakers. So one that I want to point out that is going to be super exciting. There we go. So one that I want you guys to keep on an eye out for is this one right here. This is a coworker, and he does really cool things. This is going to be a really interesting talk about Visual Studio. He's a big pipelines guy, so when he's looking at pipelines, he wants to drill right into it. So yeah, take a look at Benjamin Michaelis's talk. It's gonna be super exciting. So I'm gonna pin that really quick. Yep. Okay, and we'll get back to where we were. So really, we want this could be a player. What gets passed in here? Because it's the player service, it's going to be the player. Now I need to add that. And then yep. Okay. So add, update, get, delete, and get all. Do we name it get values async? Okay. We'll go update, and this takes in and also a. Okay, that's that. Let's get by ID async, where it just takes in an int. And then delete item async. And we'll take an ID. And get values async. And that's going to take in what search params, player search params. Player search parameters. Yep, okay. And then this is a bool for update, a player nullable, a bool for delete, and a IEnumerable of players. Okay. Okay, then let's go back to the player repository, make sure this now is nice. Does not implement player updated. Oh, it's update async. There we go. Should all be happy. Inconsistent parameter type player repository is less accessible than the method player service. Inconsistent parameter type I player repository is less accessible. Oh, is this an internal? Yep. There we go. Okay, there we go. And these are just going to be pretty simple pass-throughs. And we'll create methods here for doing that eventually, but for now, it really is just simple as return player repository to create. And let's create add async. And this needs to take in a app user ID. So then player service needs to take in a couple extra things. App user ID, and this is where we need to start talking about how we're going to handle that app user ID, because for now it's really going to be null, but we should put it at the controller level where that's done. Same for here, and then what else? So player repository, iPlayer repository takes in that. Okay, so there and there. Yep, and where's update? There we go. Okay, so now we add async and pass in the app user ID. And the create player DTO probably needs to do like, let's throw it on the DTO model. Go back here, get a transform going. So in this method, we want to create a to entity, and let's actually create a base DTO that just defines this this idea, just to keep it consistent with the base repository. And this is going to be an abstract class because of course it is. And then this takes in a T, where T, and we'll make it a base entity. Wait, what, base model? Okay, so then we want to define a base model, no, T, to model. And you should really be the one that determines that. So this is an abstract T2 model, and this is public. Okay, and now we get the create player DTO, where this is a base DTO of model. Yep. Okay, so now, and we can make these simple. Because what does a player even have? I'm not forgetting. Name and an app user. An app user is going to have the email connected to it, I believe. Yeah. So I don't know if that's really the thing we want for now. So in a create, we need to create a new app user. Well, you're always coming from a place of having an app user, unless you're creating a player that's across from you. Yeah, let's just notate that here. The user will always be populated unless the player is unless the player is created as an opponent in a match, not as an application user. So, boom, boom. That makes this create player DTO stupid because it shouldn't require an email. So let's do this because I really need to figure out what this is gonna look like. Create flow. Okay, and then these are all going to now require, oh, that requires a this. Okay. So ID, a player is an updatable model, so that has updated app, updated by, created at, created when. So then this is super simple. Just go boom to model. What's it not like in here? Oh wait. Cannot to add async returns the player DTO. The await can only be used within an async method. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then return the player DTO. Who is the player DTO? It's ID and created up, updated at. So what's up with this base DTO model? Because I'm really going to need two methods. Where we'll have a from model And let's, I mean, sure, but you probably want to control the business logic yourself. So if we just do public abstract, so I kind of want to like define a constructor, but it has to be static, so maybe it just puts it on the thing itself, because you need a from model, and that's going to be a create player DTO, and I really shouldn't need that here actually. It should only be required on the player DTO. And this takes in a player. And it can really just return new. What do we got? So ID equals player ID. Yep. Updated at, created at. Nice. Okay. Yep. Same with player stats. This one's going to require a service method probably because you need to go create the database. That's fine. And create to model. Yeah, it kind of depends how I want to do that, but problem is my user model's not set up. Probably have to do some thinking about what that is going to look like because I'm not sure, honestly. So, start moving away from the camera. When you create a player, do you need to return the new result? Not really. You have it. Just load the list up again. Yeah, let's just return that for now. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a player service, not the controller. Sorry, my bad. Being dumb. Okay. Create player, task event. What other services do we have currently? Just the player service. Okay, that's fine. And we'll go as we go. Yep. And these services are going to become pretty... I might even do a basic service, taking out repository. But turn away player repository dot email. Do we do one that has repository method or a service method that calls it? Because we could just do existing players with matching criteria, and then get values async, new player search params, and that's gonna be like that, and then like that, and then players we'll do with matching emails. And let's see, these player params are where? That's in the repository class. It's public email. And then go back to the player repository, do the same thing. If there's no more white space, dot email query dot, and then we need to do a couple things because first it's an include. player dot app user, where p dot app user is not null, and p dot app user dot email. Can't be like that. It has to be like that. And app user dot email contains the player name, and now it's like this, and it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be dot equals, and we'll go dot equals and string comparison dot culture invariant culture ignored case. Okay, there we go. So now we've added the email, so then let's go email equals email. Return existing players, any has value. So what do we get out of this? So we get a list of players dot any exclude ID has value, or PID is not equal. So it's either null or it doesn't have the value. Perfect. Let's just format that a little nicer. Okay. Exists a sync of the ID, so let's just return await. Player repository sync is not null. Nice, and let's just, for my own sanity, get all async. Return await player repository dot get values async. Yeah. So it's task enumerable player DTOs. Oh, okay, okay. For all players, and let's return all players dot. I mean, the problem with this method is going to be paged eventually, so probably need to change how that's working. Just if I'm thinking about it like that. So let's see here. Return all players. Let's do a to-do. And we'll come back to that. Get all values, return all players, dot select p, and then I think it's going to be as simple as like player DTO dot from model, and we could just call it like, and we could just go boom. Right. Okay. Give by ID. Let's just return this. It's a DTO versus, yep, okay. Yeah, this could be like player DTO dot from model. Yep, like that. From model. Oh, because it could be null. And then, well, yeah, so return. Do I just need to change it to be nullable so it's nicer? No, that's not really what I mean, the service should be really the one handling this by throwing an exception, and then on the front end we catch it. So let's do that instead. So let's go player service. Let's change this to be a get with stats async, update async, get by ID async. Well, what are we doing here? We're returning a could okay. Never mind. That is probably how we're gonna do it. return player is null, null, and ship it boat. Okay. Can I convert? Oh. Where did my async go, huh? Okay. Get with stats async. So this one could be a little more particular. So we'll do the same thing. Where we first get the player, and then if the player doesn't exist, otherwise, then you need to go and join them. Well, you could also just do the join with that in there, because what is there currently? We have matches. And a player has, so a match has 2 players, right? Yeah. So I mean, a player could also just pop in there. I guess we're not doing that double space. So then we'll go like a public IEnumerable of, or an iCollection. Matches and this is initially like that. Let's go to the DB context, throw that in there. Where's my breakpoint DB context? And let's go public override. Oh, I can spell correctly. Let's do the setup. It's on model. What is it? It's on model setup, on model builder, on model creating, yeah, protected override on model creating. And we'll go player, model builder, nope, model, come on, model builder dot entity player has index not, that's weird, okay. Definitely don't want to do that. Dot has many match. Dot with one player. It should just match those up with one player. Cannot be used with the type arguments with one, so then it's what, like, so m dot player 1 ID. But it also has many where you're the second player ID, right? With one navigation name. So you have many matches where you're player 1, but you could also have many matches where you're player 2. So then a player also has many and this is gonna be like, what is P? Yeah, P dot matches. So it's like my reported matches. If I have a joint, because really what I'm trying to do here is if I have a match table and this can point to 2 players. Each match contains 2 players. Do I have an entry saying this is my match against you? It makes sense to have one entry, right? So then I have a player. And you can point to column A and column B. And then likewise, the second row is going to point to column B and then column A. So I need to have, on my DB context, has many matches with 1 player ID. I also have many matches. Does this work where I'm player 2? Does that just work? If core many to 2, many to 1, but just 2. Yeah, okay. Using 2 separate tables. For this case, can solve the problem. Destination group, source group, link groups. Navigation props are defined with virtual keywords. Yep, okay. That makes more sense. Forgot the virtual keyword on the player model. Virtual. Yeah, that's what it's saying. Yep. So then I need like primary matches. My reported matches, yes. My reported matches. My played matches. My participated matches? Yeah, my participated matches. And don't even get me started on doubles because participated. That's not how you spell participated, is it? Participated. Okay. And then let's, just since I just said that. Stupid. I mean, in this case, you can just get a nice and easy. So then it's like a doubles pair. Oh, not the DTO. We'll do doubles later. I'm going to log an issue really quick. I was about to go off a tangent. Not what we need to do right now. Implement. The problem is that is also AI work. Implement match history and allow for doubles. We need to account for what this means for the database and how you factor in wins for the AI model. Okay. So, just singles match. This is a singles match. An occurrence of a singles match in tennis where two players are playing. Okay, so that's fine. So then it's like dot my reported matches, my participated, my led matches, my participated. Okay, so then I reported my players, and create now requires, this is gonna be null for now. Actually, let's do it like, so this endpoint comes from, where are these players? So this is program CS where I map them. I need some sort of auth service, and then I get my app user ID. Sure. This auth service will obviously grow. Authentication service. Public class. Do and this will go at the endpoint level. Down here, it not only takes in a player service anymore, but also a auth service. Okay, same thing here. And take in an IAuth service. Okay. Looks good to me. Obviously, this is a to-do. Okay, so we're getting decently close to having a runnable thing. Of course, this is not currently a thing, so I mean, we could write the first real query, which is nice. So then if we have a player, do I want to do, so okay, so you have total matches, matches won, matches lost, win percentage, total swing analysis, average rating. Because right now we have swing analysis. So, I mean, those stats aren't super helpful. Let's pull this off to the side. Total matches, matches won, matches lost, win percentage is just going to be matches so matches won plus matches watched is equal to 0. Then it's 0, because that makes sense. Let me just do this. Otherwise, it is a double between matches won divided by matches won plus matches lost. And let's just do this. Okay. Looks good. Matches 1 is, let's do greater than 0. And then let's do that. Just so it looks a little nicer. Okay. Total swing analysis, that's not really helpful. Average rating. So estimated rating. That makes more sense because it's the AI that's trying to iterate over what's your rating currently, how are you looking, what else is going on there. That makes sense to me. Hopefully that makes sense. Estimated rating, total swing analysis, not really helpful. Let's do like a list or a enumerable strings, and this was like latest tips, latest coaching tips, if you have any, and that's, you know, can be empty, that's fine. Public required, let's make it required. Same, actually let's just do, sure. Okay, so looks good to me. So this probably doesn't need to be done as a separate thing. We could just return, we could just do the straight to repository level. And let's see, so you don't have a thing yet, so we're player repository, go up to you. So let's do a task of a player with stats DTO, because we're going to be building that query up as we go. Get player with stats async, and we just need a player ID, right? And we're just calling them IDs overall, so that's fine. Okay, so then let's implement this down here. And I was thinking about this earlier. I think I want to add also, just while we're here, get player with stats async. Yep. Okay, player DTO and player. Let's make an enum really quick. Where are my models at? So that here, yeah, because it's gonna live on the model. So add folder enums, add class player type. So in tennis, there's an idea that you kind of are lumped into a player type. So there's like big hitters, there's pushers, there's defenders, yeah, serve and volleyer, counter player, all court player. Let's go to the ATP Tour. So big server. Ooh, see, this is cool. Yeah, we'll accept those. So we're gonna have the AI try and pop you into a player category. So most likely, and then you can kind of have this same graph where you're like, oh, you're this, which I think this graph would be sweet. So let me steal this actually. Player type. And this is AI, API, and front end mostly. Okay, but I think really it's not that bad. So big server, serve and volleyer, counter puncher. And I'm going to reference this news article, no worries. So let's just go bop, and let's just go bop. Based on the classic tennis categories of player. Ref. Okay, so then let's do this. Now I'll make those descriptions and everything. It's gonna be super nice. So let's go big server. So then you pop here, go a description. A player who's often, yep. Okay. Sorry, just got a alert. A certain voleur. Certain voleur, yep. You got what I'm going for. Attacking baseliner, solid baseliner, and counterpuncher, the most annoying kind. Okay. And let's go to display name also, because oh, it does not work on enums. Yeah, okay, whatever. So then let's just pop you, and you, and you. Okay, so then counterpuncher's that one. Done. Attacking a solid baseliner is this one. And I'm not doing periods at the end, right? Yeah, whatever. We can do periods at the end. Attacking baseliner is you. A all court player is you. A serve and volleyer. Okay. There we go. Got that. Okay, then a player. So what is this? What does this data model look like? Just so out of 0 to 1, you could be a big court player. It's actually not bad. Okay, once you get the player, let's go public player type, estimated player type, and then for each of the 5 categories, so let's pull this over here just so we can start looking at it. So for each of the category types, you need a double of how much you are that type of player, right? So you're either 0, not that player at all, or a 1, you are completely that player. Every time you play, you are that type of player. So then it's like a public double. That would be pretty cool, but no. Big server score. Okay, and then this is going to be a range of 0 to 1. Okay, and then you're the big server score. So this is going to be like, let's make a region. Player type scores. And we'll end that region. Okay, so then big server score, server volleyer score, all court player score, attacking baseliner, solid baseliner, counterpuncher. Okay, boom. Boom. Okay, so there we go. And estimated player type, that's probably going to take the highest score. So really it's just whatever one you are. But it could also be a combination of things. So we'll just leave that as is for now. And let's go back to the player repository, and then let's go the players with stats, the player DTO model. Because now you are able to get things like player type. And do I want to require... So player type, sure. And let's... Yep. Yeah, let's name it estimated player type just for consistency. Because you can probably override that with like a declared player type. But maybe later. Okay, so then player repository, we need to implement the new thing, which is get players with scores. Oh, and then the data here, I need to now have these kind of things. Because that would be really cool to see, and I don't need the ranges. Those should come from the database now. And estimated player type. Let's move that into player type. Okay. Estimated player type. What's going on? Hides inherited member. Oh, perfect. We already have that. Nice. I knew that. I'm not stupid. Okay, and then player repository. Pop you in there. Implement this. Yep, get players with stats. So it's going to be like DB context dot. Why does it not like? So players dot single or default O dot ID. Let's make this P be consistent. Is equal to ID. So then we have the player. So then we'll build the query one case at a time. So we have a player. So, and right now that's an iQueryable. And then we do dot, and we want to include and probably just where dot include. Let's pull this over. Oh, we have the players already. So where we want to include my reported matches. Reported matches dot include p dot my participated matches. I don't need to include my thing because it should have that, so that's fine. And then do that's really it. Single or default dot include. Is that not liking it? Okay. Dot single or default async. So then you do if return player is not null new. So then we pop all the things in there. And this is now player DTO looking at. So first you're a player DTO, which is create player DTO. So we have ID. Okay, return null. So then you are ID equals player.id. Then you have name, player name, total matches. Oh, that's why. Wait. plus player.myReportedMatches.count. What else do we need here? Stats, matches won, matches lost. I mean, you could just do var total matches equals because from the player's perspective it is a I collection, so what? I collection of match total matches equals player dot my reported matches dot concat. Well, okay. Yep, so if you get to that point, then you have boom dot count total matches 0. Well, if player is not null, so that should be just total matches. Let's go back to player DTO. So then we have email. And we probably would include the app user as well. Email, okay, and then that's the create player data. So then it's created at. Do I have those? Yes, I do. Player.created at updated at equals player.updated at estimated player type. Then all the things down here we have like an estimated rating equals player.rating. We have big server score. Certain volleyer score, all court score, attacking baseline score equals player.attacking baseline score, and solid baseline, and counterpuncher. I'm trying to just let it catch up. Okay, so then what else do we need? We need matches won, matches lost. Matches won equals player dot, wow. So there's not really a reason to cat them because the match outcome is going to be determined by the player. So public bool player 1 player 1 because there's only, well, tennis there's not really ties, so you just go to a tie break, so not really a possibility. Matches won, so this is going to be player dot my reported matches dot count, and this is going to be dot player 1 plus my participation match dot count dot not and dot player 1. There's probably a better way to do that, but I don't know. Okay, so then let's this is kind of getting annoying. If player 1 is null, just return null. Because now I just want to not have to deal with all that. I can't deal with all that. I'm too dumb. So get rid of this. Because now what I really want to do is do like a match be completed? Yeah, that's fine. You can't report half matches. I don't know what the AI was thinking there. So this is gonna be just like player dot my participated matches dot count plus player dot my reported dot count. Okay, so then have all the way down. Matches won, player equals reported matches dot one, and matches lost. So just do int total matches, int total, because then you just minus them. Don't have to do the same thing back. So boom, boom. Matches won and matches lost equals total matches minus matches lost. Cool. Okay. So now we have our first query. Make sure we run. We don't have any data, so it doesn't really matter. We'll create a data seeder for development. That's a thing actually. Let's do build errors match endpoint. Match player 2. Okay, yeah. Parameters captured into the state and enclosed inhabitants values also paste. This value might be captured by the base class as well. It shouldn't be. Oh. So what is the fix here? Let's see. So then the other thing I want to do while it's churning on that, because I think it should be working. Let's go over here. So player service, search async. Yeah, we need to finish these service methods. So and we're probably gonna have to do player repository search. Player repository dot get values async, pass in these search params, and then I don't know what you did to me. So is there a reason that we can't do use a primary constructor? That's what I want to do, man. That's what I want to do. Use a primary constructor. So then, is it going to complain now? The parameter is captured into the state of the enclosing type. It's also passed this 5. It really just doesn't like it. Okay. So then we'll have to do that and do some sort of yeah, okay. And we'll do you as init. And rename you to uppercase D. Call it a day. Is assigned to the same variable. No, you are not. It's primary constructor. Man, that's what I want to do. But no, it doesn't complain because I'm explicitly passing it in. And then you just need to go select. Sure, why not? You're being rude. Oh, that's what. And you are actually player search params now. And is that going to make iPlayer service not very happy? Yep. And you are going to be a player DTO dot from model, and you can just be alone, just like that. Okay. And update async. This should be an easy one. Return await. Player repository dot update async. Pass in the ID. Pass in the player. And the app user ID. So create player dot to model. App user ID. And I don't want to get by ID again. Can I not just do... Yeah, I mean, my update being... I mean, who says I need to pass back an update? Can it not just be a bool? Because now I'm just, yeah. So, and you're always going to return. So just return this. Return await, and now you return a bool. Okay, player service, and we'll go to the player endpoint now that we're changing things around. Okay, update player, return okay. And return results.okay. So results.noContent, results.created, player ID, create player, return okay. That's good. Return okay. Yeah, looks good to me. What endpoint was I looking at? I was looking at the service method, I'm guessing. Accidentally. Just fix this. Boom. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look too shabby right now. This probably needs to be behind some sort of access. I think next time we probably need to do auth, start looking at the OAuth to our app and how it's structured, because that's informing how we do the app auth or the app user stuff. So that should be a task already. But I think we haven't done any front end. So let's see where we're at. Let's error list where we're looking good. If you guys ever have any thoughts of what we want to do, I'm just plugging along on random stuff. So, oh, Docker, awkward. Going to Docker. Okay, Docker engine should be started. Let's just restart that. Yep. Okay, go back to it, get restarted. And that is looking better. At least it knows something's going on. Might take a second. Upgrade instructions. We got some new Aspire. Nice. Okay. Maybe we'll look at that, doing that next time. The context type only declares a parameter of instruction. This means the configuration will never be accepted if the configuration is passed to the add DB context. It was called with configuration, but the context type only declares. That means the configuration passed will never be. See what they're yapping about. Yeah, okay. You need an app with constructor. You need to default with, because you gotta try to omit this initialization is only necessary if DI works well. Your controller. Because it was on the, I added the on model creating. Is that what's not liking? I'm not totally sure. This means that the configuration passed to add DB context will never be used. If configuration is passed to add DB context was called. So literally just that set. You okay? I'm okay with that. I can live with a constructor like that. And let's do it in the right spot. Sure. Let's try that for size. Getting down to the brass tacks, and then we'll hopefully wire up all these endpoints to something. Navigation committee does not expect the CLR type player. Oh, it's player one ID, not player one. Yep. Well, I probably need to migrate to. Looking good though. Looking not too bad, not too shabby. Body's inferred. Let's see. Did you mean to register the body inferred as a service or apply the from service? Yeah, from services. Stupid endpoints. Bad. I'm bad at these kind of things. Player service. From services. Let's get you added up. Using. Nice. And from route. Well, doesn't this have, shouldn't this have an ID? No, that's okay. It will. I probably should add a new thing that actually does it. Yeah, looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. Hey, look at that. And still haven't done that yet. Still need to do that. But we get all the things, which is super nice. There we go. So we probably need to do a seeder. So let's add some issues. You know, we're trying to be realistic here about what we're doing. So DB seeder, seed a development database with some users and matches, so you can review the screen. This could be some API work. Let's see, what else do we need? That's pretty much it. Okay. Let's see. Now go to here, pop open the website. Yep, home. So let's just start adding some stuff. So we have a player endpoint that can do match history. So we get stats. So we can have a little player, and the player, if you remember, has a name, a user attached to it, a USTA rating. So you know you can very quickly see how it's going to look. You know, you have a name, and then you have a nice little bar, and maybe like a rating. You know, so maybe like a 3.5. It's like an orange if it's high or something like that. And then you get like, you know, your little stats menu here of like maybe some tabs, matches, swings, swing analysis, and then I don't know, settings or something. Do some settings at the top. Yeah, you get the picture. I'm not a good drawer. But let's go out here because there's a lot of UI stuff we can start doing now. Because like, let's do add error handling. So add default error handling toast. And when exceptions occur, pop a toast with a message telling user something has gone wrong. So, you know, you already have the niceties of ASP.NET Core where it bubbles up the exception if needed. But the front end, we want to display to the user. Say, hey, something's gone wrong. We're not going to tell you much unless you're in development. But you can start getting some niceties there. Add a busy spinner on HTTP requests. Add a loading spinner to alert the user a task is being performed. So that makes the screen feel a little nicer. Let's see what else we want. We want like an auth guard. That's part of the authorization, so we don't really need to do anything about that. There's some breadcrumbs. player settings. Maybe it's like settings, matches, player matches, and then they're like match details. Just do etc. Okay. Okay, we're getting a decent backlog. It's gonna be good. So right now I'm working on the pro profile, historical data, and you know, a lot of these things are gonna be blocked because of the auth stuff. We haven't really created an app user stuff, but you know, we don't technically need a lot of it. Let's close a couple of things here. And what do we want to do in the last 40-ish minutes? We can go back to that player profile and start making that screen. I think that'd be kind of cool. Because if we go here, this is what we have currently running. We have some endpoints that we can hit with a player. We don't have any data yet, so it's not going to be super helpful until we seed it. Might be helpful to do the seeding as we go. Yeah, let's just do the seeding really quick. That's not going to be that bad. Breakpoint. So let's go to program CS. Should be actually this one, right? Let's close all other ones except for this. And if it's development, and then let's well, we'll add it to do. Maybe just another issue, but have Swagger the homepage. I don't know why it didn't come out of the box like that, but that should be something we do. Swagger be the homepage for the API. Simple enough. So if app is development and we're using, so ensure created. If it's development, then we're going to do app. We want to create a seeder. So let's go in the context, in the data project, let's add seeder, because we really just want to call public static seeder with a single method, public async task seed. And it's going to take in a DB context, breakpoint DB context, and breakpoint DB. And then we'll just, you know, go public async, public static async task, and then we'll want to seed each thing. So seed players, so seed users, sorry. So we want to seed users and players, seed match history. I mean, it's not really gonna help us to have different methods, but so let's just have Copilot write some. And let's just do seeder. Wait, seeder dot seed context. Actually, while we're at that, let's because we want to do migration, so let's do let's do a new issue. Labels API. Add migration management for Entity framework. Add in migration management. Okay, because we don't want to just willy-nilly, because once we have a database that's in the cloud, we want it to migrate in a nice and reliable way. And let's just have you please generate me some seeded data so that I can, with a couple of users, match history, swing analysis, just fill out the database for development. Cool. Okay. So while he's doing that, while Mr. Copilot is doing that, let's go out and do. And this is a point that I want to talk about just for a second. I have been thinking a lot lately about my use of AI and what that looks like. I feel like for a while I was trying to try it out and say, oh, you know what are the tasks it can do? I feel like a lot of things I've figured out is that I was relying on it too much on I was trying to get better at it, but not seeing as many good successes as I wanted to. So going to be trying to be very, very specific about my AI usage. So like this case, like I could write seeders, but I know it could do that. And I'm not going to just be like, oh, do this thing, and then I'll come back to it and see if that works. But this one is like, I don't really care what the results look like, no matter what. It's a seed data, right? But like the homepage, I think will blow away a lot of what it's done, right? And that's kind of my experience, been just a little bit. It's been super helpful. Like it's obviously transformative in the way you think about it, but in a certain sense, I need to be more specific about the types of things I'm tasking with. So just want to put that out there into the ethos. Into the ether, not ethos. But yeah, anyways, so let's go watch churning. Here we go. Yep, there you go. Break this down to avoid redaction. Okay, I'm gonna let it churn. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. Looks like it finished. Got some counterpunchers. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So we have some players, we have some users. Let's... No, I know what I'm doing there. I want to do this. Only if it's a development. Yes. Okay, so we'll run that, and then we'll have in the background this churning. So let's re-examine what's going on here. So doing the health check, don't want it. Just don't want it. Just don't want it. Get this rid of, get rid of this, get rid of this. Side nav expanded. So let's open this HTML up. So what we have is a toolbar with a side nav with a menu. That looks good, I think. Good enough. Unable to determine the relationship with either manually or ignore the spec not mapped. Okay. Why did it mess with my things? I like you. Go let it run. Making sure my cats are eating their food. Really stinky about it. Okay, there we go. So that doesn't look terrible. What is this side nav look like? So it's not the whole thing. That's a whole different story. I don't know. Let AI do it. Didn't do a great job. Okay. So we have this. We have this, this, and this. Router outlet. So what players? Let's look really quick. What players are seated, and then just what IDs they're gonna be. So it's gonna be user ID 1, right? So app users. Stupid call. But if you are going, oh, sorry, just gotta. Okay. Show my support. Oh, thank you, Vinny Robot. Hello from Brazil. Don't speak English very well. Well, you typed very super well. Say congrats and show my support. Great job on coping live. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you stopping by. I won't be able to follow the stream right now, but okay, no worries. I don't do it for the for the viewership, obviously, right now. I don't have any. No. Do it because I want to be clear. Like, I really appreciate that, but yeah, it's so I appreciate the support. Coding live is fun. I'm bad at it. I feel like I get like performance jitters on it because I like coding and I'm better than what I show, but it's as soon as I get in front of the screen, my mind goes blank. So it's been fun to kind of get in front of this this mindset of like, okay, how do you explain your thought process you're going? That's one of the things that I wanted to get better at. So. No, for sure. Thanks. Okay. Where was I? I got a little distracted. So we have a side nav. Want to create a player. Want to create a profile. So let's get a terminal popped. So seed into the source, seed into the app, and pages. So we have home, and let's just ng-gen a component called player profile. Let's skip test on this one. We'll do some like form stuff that we'll do some front end testing, because that's where I find the value in front end testing is like on your validators, on your like auth guard or something like that, where it's business logic, right? But on a I cannot stand like a, oh, is the button here and says this. Can't do that. It's just not my thing. Whatever. Okay, so let's go to the app.route. Let's make sure we add a page. Put your page as the home for signed in users. Okay, but let's do a path. Let's go player, let's go profile. Let's just do a component, player profile component. Cannot find the name, player profile component, quick fix, add import. And we're off to the races. Let's go to the home, make sure we get, just get rid of you. You are dumb. Home page. Let's just do div dot, I don't know, deflex. Let's do a, oh, I'm using Tailwind, yeah? Yeah, it's gonna be different. Okay. Whatever. Let's do homepage. Okay, you can be closed. Let's make sure player profile is up. Throw you to the side. Home. Let's add another button. Navigate home. Navigate to your profile. Profile works. Okay, that should be enough for us to get there. So home page. Now we're not getting anything on the side nav. Okay. So first off, why is this thing? So the app root, map toolbar, there's no div that's holding the full page. So we have a map nav side nav container, map drawer, display block, overflow hidden, left, right, top, absolute. Border sizing. Yep, side nav. And you are just hiding. Interesting. What did I do to you? Well, if it's based on how big the router outlet, then the router outlet's going to be tiny. So, I mean, I could do a big div. Yeah, I mean, where is my... I see them. I see the thing going. But I mean, if I do make the home component, that surely would help. Yeah. So I mean, something's off with my home page. Not really what I want to do right now. So we're just gonna throw the toolbar away for now. And just comment it out. It's fine. We'll come back to it. There's stuff to do still. So let's just go like that. Let's just go. Let's just throw a router outlet in there. Easy enough for now. because we'll just start in the profile. So should just be out of homeworks. Yep, cool. Okay, and let's just start with the profile. And I doubt we'll have enough time to actually do anything with it. Unfortunate. And I have to head out at 7:30. Okay, player profile works. Nice. Okay, so the idea here is with our component here, we need to make a player service really quick. Tennis coach service, not really what I want to do. So let's do a new CD core, CD services, ng generate service. Let's call it the player service. And yeah, let's skip test on this for now. So player service, and I forgot they always name it that way. So we'll just call it the player. Player.service, there you go. And we will pull some of this stuff from the tennis coach because a lot of it's just going to be importing the API URL, environment.api URL, and we'll pull in a private HTTP client, and we'll just make that inject. Yeah, get player profile. So this is where we need to have this open. What endpoints do we need? So we need a player endpoint. So we have a get with a get all players and a get by ID. So this is the one we really want to do, is a get by ID. So with the player ID, this dot get API URL players. Yep, players / player ID. Okay, that should be it. Just that. And return this dot HTTP dot get. And what does this return? This just returns a player DTO. Right? Player DTO. Yep, player DTO. And this player service returns a player DTO. And let's just pull all of this crap. And let's go over here. Let's throw up models. Let's delete this. Don't need this anymore. Don't need you. Tennis coach service. Sorry, buddy. Let's throw up in a new model, new file. And let's populate a, let's do a player.dto. Let's create a DTO folder. DTOs. New file, player.dto.ts. Do this, boom, and let's do C# to TypeScript. Replace. So now we get this, and we need some models, new folder, enums. Oh, enums, rename that to enums. Let's pop open this player type. Estimated player type is you. Let's get you guys pulled up. Enums, new file, player type.ts. C#, big server, nice. And yeah, we can pull the description from ourselves. That's fine. Player DTO. Quick add. Extends base DTO of type player. Don't really need that because all that gives you is that one method. Don't really need that. Also, think about it now. Is that really necessary? Do I want player? Should just be an interface. Is it actually giving us anything in that base class? Did I create an abstract base class without needing it? Perhaps. Let's see. What does it do? Yeah, this should just be an interface. So let's just do that now, just really quick. Base TTO, base DTO. U should be an interface, and U should be just a public T model. Yep. Beautiful. Public player to model. Super simple. Okay, let's restart U. Hi, kitty. And when I say stinky, let me be clear. I love my cats. It's a term of endearment. Because they're stinky. Oh. You got both of them saying hi. Okay. Ooh, excuse me, buddy. Not on my keyboard, please. Let's go back to the thing. My profile works. Nice. Okay, so where was I? Because now, dude, you need something? So I have a player service, HTTP GET, and I'm getting a player DTO. Nice. This.hp. Oh, that's another problem. This should be an observable of type player DTO. So then we can call it, and this is just get player by ID. More simple than that. Let's do a public get player with stats. And it's going to be a player with stats DTO. Yep. And what is this endpoint? So I just responding to a message. What endpoint is this? We are going against the player endpoints, and it is update get player by ID. Oh, I don't even have it. Okay, we need a new endpoint. Do I ever need to get a player without getting? Yeah, we do. Private static async. Let's just actually copy this. Get player with stats by ID from services player services dot get with stats async. Okay, return not found. Beautiful. And then get player by ID. Let's do that. Let's do details. Get player with stats by ID. With enhanced stats. Produces a player with stats DTO. And these should actually be player DTOs. Produces an int. Definitely need to update these. Bool. Yeah, produce it to a 4. Very nice. Okay, get all players. It's fine. Probably won't restart you though. Steal my stupid. I'll throw it for you, buddy. Come here. This is their time to go crazy. So what's going on here? We have missing there. So now we get a stats, and it's going to be details, right? I just named it details. Okay. So here. So we don't really need this one for now, because the profile is going to be popular with get stats, because it has everything plus more, right? So the player profile really now comes together. by, let's do private, player service, inject that. Eventually, you're going to be coming into the profile ID with an ID, right? Because ideally, it's going to be like this, like that, where it's passing into the ID. But so then that would be something like protected at the bottom, so protected player ID string or null, and it's really going to be coming in, right? Inject, add that. So that's the big things, protected and private. So let's do on initialized. Doing it on init. Because we want to pull the on init, and on init we're gonna get the that player. So and here we're gonna have the protected player with stats. This is gonna be a player with stats DTO or null because it starts at null and it's loaded. So now this is like a if player with stats, and this is loading. I mean, to do the actual loading with the busy spinner, it's super nice. Share goals, we're not okay. Yep. Do we not have a name though? I thought I had a name. Players with stats. Yeah, we have a name. Did I not get it into the DTO? Okay, didn't come across. So then this is a name. It's a string. This is now a name. Okay. I mean, you can even just start from there. And that's an @ sign. So then player service dot get stats by ID. Let's just try one. Yep. And this error is eventually going to be removed because then we're going to do the console error or the toast errors. So I'm not going to do that for now. I'm just going to do a straight subscribe. Because now we have player stats. Done. Simple, right? So we'll have something else do the error handling for us that we actually, the way you do it is in the app.config. Right? So add in default error handling. Then you're done, right? It just happens to catch it for you. But for now, this should be good enough. And is player ID really a string? Did I do it like that? No, I did it in int. So let's make sure we don't muck anything up. Let's go number. Go back to the player profile. Let's just pass in number 1. And let's pop it. Give me 1 second. Yep. So there we go. And I don't know why I keep losing the things. No web page found. Refresh you, and because I'm not running. No, we're running. Okay. Argument type is not assignable to number. Loading profile, player profile. Do with a number. I mean, let's see where we get, because I imagine we're getting an error. Let's now go to the player endpoint, get player by stats ID, and just refresh. So we're not actually calling into the service. Let's see where we're going here. Unexpected token. So we go after the details. Response is a header, API players, and we're going after 4594. What is set up here within the resources? So we're not going to get to the API correctly. Okay, it should be going against the API URL. Did I not have it? Or against the wrong environment? Is that what's going on? No, that looks right, because now we should be having a redirect or a, sorry, it's the proxy file. Breakpoint API. Sure, let's just restart it and see if it works. That's the one problem with Aspire, is because it's less deterministic. It's harder to tell if it's a, I gotta restart it again, and the npm just needs to re-kick itself, or if it's an actual problem, because obviously that code was working with the other endpoint. Yeah, I mean, it's just going against my Angular app right now, which is unfortunate, but problems for another day, I suppose, unless... What was it doing previously? If I go get in the app component, where's app component? So it was using API slash, oh, it was just straight up using API. Because that health check was the thing that was working. Okay. Am I not, is environment TS slash API? That's the problem. Let's open up prod, because this is really nothing different, and populate it in. I probably have to restart because it's a config thing, so let's just go and do that. Let's just stop this and start up again. And ideally I should be hitting a breakpoint, but seemingly I'm not. Yeah, still going against localhost 59002, which is this one. Right? So where am I going against? This API URL / players. This is just straight up API. I mean, that should be the same thing. Okay, well, we'll get to debugging our Aspire Angular setup next time. But yeah, a lot of things we did today was getting this the health check set up and going through the player endpoints with the repository pattern, which I showed you guys earlier with the generic repository pattern. So we'll continue down this route. We'll probably do some off stuff. I'll probably do a little bit off camera just to make sure we have a little bit of infrastructure set up. But until then, happy coding.